Open Division Pool A matchup. My name is Josh Shibata. Both of these teams have already played earlier today. Unfortunately, both teams have lost. TCU losing a squeaker to Tulane 17 to 12. Mississippi State losing to Montana State 22 to 12. So both these teams, this is a must-win matchup, and we're off in order to progress to the playoffs tomorrow. That ball went way out of pitch. So we will have a penalty against Mississippi State. TCU will get the ball at the half. TCU with the black and white kit going from left to right. Mississippi State in the burgundy kit going left to right. TCU, of course, the Horned Toads, the Horned Frogs out of Texas Christian University. And Mississippi State, I believe they like to be called the Rebel Dogs football or the Mad Dogs rugby team. So we have the Mad Dogs with the take here. And the Mad Dogs passing the ball back. TCU with the defense, trying to keep the Mad Dogs well within territory. Mississippi State trying to find a way to get past the TCU defense. TCU, of course, the defending Lone Star Division II champions out of Fort Worth, Texas. Mississippi State been around for almost 50 years, established in 1977. So a program with a long history, being tackled down by TCU. Mississippi State passing the ball back. TCU with some great defense and a good turnover. Mississippi State kind of forgot that the ball was open and TCU jumped on it. And TCU trying to find the opening. Will they be able to score the try? Mississippi State trying to prevent them from happening. They are playing dangerously close into the touch zone. Oh, ball happens to pop out of the TCU player's hand. So we will have a knock on. As I mentioned before, because we are in the state of Texas, out of the 30 teams competing, the 30 schools competing in this tournament, 13 of them are from Texas. So we do have a lot of Texas representation. Of course, TCU coming out of Fort Worth, Texas. So they have somewhat of a home field advantage here in Houston. Again, both of these teams have already played earlier today. Both teams are searching for their first win of the day. TCU losing a heartbreaker, so you know they definitely are going to have a lot of motivation to want to win this game. Because I believe they feel that they should have won that game against Tulane earlier today. Mississippi State, of course, wanting to prove that they can win this matchup against TCU. Mississippi State with the put in. Here comes the Mad Dogs. Running past the TCU defense. Oh, TCU able to steal the ball in the tackle. Very nicely done. Great turnover by the Horned Frogs. And the Horned Toads are on the march. And here we go. Oh, does he? He does get it down. Try by TCU. Very impressive. And the conversion is no good. So the score remains TCU 5, Mississippi State 0. TCU with the opening try of the match. Beautiful play developing from the jackal of the ball in the tackle. So now obviously we are looking for a ball to play. Fortunately is handled to us. That was a good crupper kick. So now TCU getting ready for the restart here. Good long restart, but unfortunately, looks like there was some offsides by TCU. Mississippi State with the ball in TCU territory. Can they respond with a try of their own? There's some big players on this Mad Dog rugby side. TCU, though, able to get the ball. For whatever reason, Mississippi State not getting their scrums up, and that's a second time on a turnover. TCU able to put it down right under the uprights. Great try. Heads up play by TCU. That is the second time that the Mad Dogs tend to forget that there is a scrum, and for whatever reason, they're not on the same page. They have not assigned a person to play scrum half to get the ball. And TCU not wasting any time, not looking a gift horse in the mouth, taking the opportunity to get the ball. And the conversion is good. Score TCU 12, Mississippi State 0. As I mentioned before, TCU losing earlier today to Tulane in a heartbreaker. So TCU definitely playing with a lot of emotion that they need to win this game, that they should have already have won their first game. Because both teams have lost one game, this is a must win in order to keep their playoffs hopes alive. The top two teams of each division in Pool A, B, and C in our open division move on. And then the best two third place teams. So just because Mississippi State doesn't win this game doesn't necessarily mean they're out, but having two losses does not help. You definitely need to walk away with at least one to keep your playoffs hopes alive. Mississippi State, the Mad Dogs, Mad Dog Rugby on the march. TCU, though, keeping them well within their territory. Mad Dog Rugby trying to cycle the ball, trying to find that open man. TCU almost stealing the ball. There are some big players on Mississippi State. So TCU really having to get some big tackles like that one right there. Mississippi State, though, able to hold on to the ball. Moving a lot of lateral movement, trying to make their way forward. It looks like they found the opening, but unfortunately pushed out into touch. So we will have a line out to TCU. And that is the half. So halftime score, TCU 12, Mississippi State 0. In a must-win game for both sides. We'll be back with more action here. Second half of Pool A division, open division action. All right, here we go, rugby fans. Second half of this open division Pool A matchup. TCU, the Horned Toads, taking on Mad Dog Rugby, Mississippi State. TCU up 12-0 on Mississippi State. Both teams need to win this matchup. They've already lost their first match of the game, of the day. So a lot to play for here. TCU with the restart in the second half. And here we go. TCU with a deep kick. Good take by Mississippi State. Mad Dog Rugby throwing the ball. Looks like there might have been a knock on. Ball is kicked. I guess we're still playing on. TCU slowly getting the ball well within their territory. Trying to mount some sort of offense. Mississippi State with some big tackles. We have the open man. Will he get past his last line of defense? And he does. Number 5 from TCU with the red scrum hat makes the try. Another try for TCU. And again, TCU showing a lot of power and speed. They got some big boys, but they run fast. And the conversion is good as well. TCU up 19-0, scoring rather quickly, less than a minute in the second half. Great way to keep the momentum going for TCU. Mississippi State, the Mad Dog Rugby Club, they got to figure out some way to turn the tide and try to stop the bleeding that TCU is administering onto them. We're waiting for the restart. I believe we might be waiting for a ball. Looks like we are very short on balls here on pitch 2. As it looks like every time we're waiting to restart, it's hard for us to get a ball to be there at the halfway point. There we go. All right, getting ready for the restart here, TCU. Once again, scoring a try well within the first minute of the half. Here's the restart. Another big, deep kick. TCU's strategy is just to kick pretty far into Mississippi State territory. Mississippi State cycling the ball back, trying to find the way to get past this TCU defense. Oh, ball does not go in the hand. TCU takes advantage of it. But that pass, number 5 just scored the try just a couple of seconds ago, and now will score his second try back to back. He's trying to get as close to the uprights as possible, running through player after player, and he finally puts it down. What a solo effort by that number 5. 2 tries within 2 minutes. And he did everything. He ran through 4 players on the Mississippi State side just to get that ball well within under the uprights. And considering he's the one that's kicking the conversion, that's probably why he did it, to make the kick easier for himself. And conversion is good. Again, if you're new to rugby, the conversion kick takes place where the ball is put down in the try zone. So obviously, if you are the kicker, you would love it if the ball is placed down right under the uprights. And that's what that player did. He knew where he wanted to kick the ball from. So he made it a point to get it there. Very, very impressive. And you see, he's slowly making his way back. I mean, this guy has scored 2 tries in 2 minutes and made 2 conversion points. He scored 14 points on his own. He's literally scored more than half of TCU's points by himself. And there's again the restart by TCU. Mississippi State's got to figure out something to do, something to get themselves on the scoreboard. Trying to get past that TCU defense. A lot of gang tackling by TCU because there's a lot of big players on Mississippi State side. The Mad Dog Rugby are cycling the ball, trying to break through. They lose the ball in the tackle. Bounces into the hands of TCU. TCU back on the attack again. Mississippi State has to get back on defense. Tossing the ball. Kicked by the TCU player. Does it stay in touch? It does, but it's recovered by Mississippi State. Now, Mississippi State, can they take advantage of TCU being out of position? Good tackle, but the ball stays in play. Ooh, big tackle by TCU. But I believe there might have been a knock-on. Yes, there's a knock-on call by the match official by Mississippi State. So scrum to TCU. Very close to the try zone of Mississippi State. So great opportunity once again for TCU to score another try. Mississippi State really has to figure out some defense here. As you see, one of the Mississippi State players holding his ribs gingerly. I believe he's going to get substituted off. So now we got to get that third man in the scrum. And here we go. Nope. Here we go. Yep. TCU with the opportunity here to score another try and get their first win of the day. Match official not saying that the scrum is straight. Again, scrumming, a dark art of rugby. Very, very particular skill set, very particular set piece. You really got to know how to do a scrum well in order to use it to your advantage. TCU able to get the ball. Goes for the dummy, doesn't get it quite out of hand, and unfortunately, it is a forward pass. So ball turned over to Mississippi State, and we go for another scrum. This time, though, Mississippi State gets to put the ball in. And again, as I was mentioning earlier, with the scrum, if you don't scrum straight, the referee will not give you the opportunity to scrum, may even call you for a penalty, turns the ball over. But scrumming straight is not as easy as it sounds. And as you see, TCU did not scrum straight, so they got another penalty. Mississippi State looks like they're being called back. I believe he might not have tapped the ball where the penalty was. So there we go. When you tap the ball for a quick play, you have to do it at the spot of the foul. And the match official claims that Mississippi State player did not do it. But now he is running away. There looks like it's open space. And it looks like Mississippi State will get their first try. Will he? Yes, he does. That TCU player almost had him, but just missed. And Mississippi State finally gets themselves on the board. But it looks like that might be a little, too late. Conversion is no good. I think that might be time. We'll see. Our time, of course, is the unofficial time. The official time is on the match official's hands. So we're going off of what she claims the time is. And it looks like we have time for one more play. I believe this will be the last play of the matchup. TCU has the win. Mississippi State really can't do much to win, but every point matters in this competition. So if they can get another try, that would definitely help them. Ball stays inbound. TCU continues to play it, but there is a penalty. Not releasing when the player was tackled. Oh, I'm sorry, high tackle call by the match official. So TCU with the ball. We'll see if TCU decides they want to continue playing. I believe they know that the game is over. Ball into touch. So it looks like TCU will continue to play. No, I believe that is game. I believe they called it game, and TCU kicked the ball out. So that is our final score. TCU 26, Mississippi State 5.